The following program is intended for a mature listening audience. Graphic and explicit language may be heard at times. The views expressed and the opinions given by the individual hosts and their guests do not necessarily express those of this station or sponsors. Listeners are advised that neither this station nor its owners and agents shall be held liable for the content of this program. Rebroadcast, redistributed or reused without express written permission by host or producer is not allowed.
Hollywood Red Carpet Radio Show. This is Debbie Perkins, and welcome to the show, you guys. I'm sorry I had a few technical difficulties tonight. We actually all kind of did. And I'd like to welcome Rayster Michaels, an awesome person, a great guy. He is a director and a actor and of Dream Cinema Productions, and Judy Carmen, who works with Rayster Michaels, and we'll get more into that. I'm sorry about that, you guys, with all this craziness. I'm Debbie Perkins. I'm your host, and I completely went sideways with everything tonight. So I've got to get out of this room because I have puppies that can't be quiet tonight. So I'm going to go in another room. But anyways, I would like to welcome you to the show. Rayster, how have you been?
I'm good. Really busy. Just working on stuff. Thank you for having me here, Debbie and Mark.
You look amazing. And I've seen some of the wonderful things you've been doing, and you've been very busy.
Yeah, we're kind of busy. We got a lot of stuff happening right now. Yeah.
That's amazing. And you've been on the red carpet a lot. All last year, you were very, very busy.
Yeah. I get up to all these red carpets. I mean, I'll film stuff and television. I got the Oscars. The Oscars coming up now. The Samira Network thing is a big old red carpet that I'm part of. So we're going to be there. God. You know, we get they give us awards. They show our trailer. I mean, they'll get big stars there. It gets really packed. Yeah, that one's something. That one's a big one.
Now, do you get nervous when you do those kinds of things? Because I would be like, what do you wear? And then, Oh, I imagine. Now, Judy, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for having us.
It's awesome. Now, explain to us who you are and what you do. I know you work with Ray, but I don't know a lot about.
Yeah, I've worked with Ray for quite a few years now. I'm his co-producer for Dream Cinema. So anything Ray needs, we work as a team. And that's part of what Dream Cinema does. We work as a team together to get things going. So that's kind of what I do. I'm also an actress, but I work on the business side with Ray also and putting the productions together. Wow,
that's amazing. Well, welcome to the show. I really appreciate you coming on. Now, I'm going to get back to the nitty-gritty with you, Ray, so that people can understand who you are and how you got in the business, and we'll talk to you, Judy, after. But, Ray, tell us your humble beginnings. How did you find yourself in the entertainment industry?
Oh, wow. Well, I mean, I've always been involved in this. I have from a family of theatrical people involved in films, television, studios, and all that. And then a family of part of my family are lawyers. So I was raised in all this. And then as I was a kid, I was in a lot of things, a lot of stage plays, and even as a teenager. And I mean, now I've been on over 90 plays in my life. So I started on stage as an actor. Then I started moving into television, and then after television and cinema. So, I mean, stage, television, and film. And I still do everything, but I mean, I moved a lot into television, and film. And so we got a lot of movies out there that we've done. You know, we got Mansion of Blood, Everyday Miracles, Unknowns, The Extra coming out. We just did a film called Night Mistress, which is out on Amazon Prime, Tubi, Fossum, and a bunch of other things that is out right now. And then we're preparing our next web series, LA Mobbery, and then some movies after that we're dealing with, that we're getting set up, like LA Lost Realm, The Hunting Begins, and Time Scouts. So I mean, we're really busy with a lot of stuff going on. We're focusing on the web series right now because we're focusing on the web series because that's a big one, and where it's happening right now. We're getting we're doing all the locations and pre-shoots and getting everything together. We got a bunch of shots already, but it's a serial comedy that we're going to put on YouTube and Instagram. And then after a little bit, once it's rolling, we're going to move it out to a bigger networks, you know.
That's amazing.
Try to yeah, because I got my associates and HBO Max and all that, so we're gonna try to move it to that.
That's
so, yeah.
awesome.
So we're
I
really busy
that.
right now with yeah, it's a lot of
It's
work.
incredible. It's since I first met you, you just grew so much, so fast, and you're so well accepted, and everybody loves you. They love you everywhere you go.
It hasn't been easy. Yeah, it hasn't been easy and hasn't been fast. It's taken a lot of years and work and time and everything. Yeah, it's not fast. It looks like it, but it's not. Yeah,
it looks like it from my end.
Yeah, so
but I'm sure on your end, it's nothing but tedious work. Yeah. The hard stuff, you have to do all that before you can even attempt to put a movie together.
Yeah, no, that you need a lot of knowledge. Put a movie together is a lot. It's really, you got to have a lot of knowledge, a lot of experience, a lot of tenacity, persistence, and a lot of you know. I say you got to have three things, right? You got to have the heart of a lion, because you have to have courage, the courage of a lion, the heart of an angel, and the skin of a rhino, to put up with everything that you get hit with, everything that happens, and to make it go through and not get stumped or stopped by things that get in your way. Because you have investors and you have people that put money into these things and they want these things to succeed, and you can't drop the ball. So it's a lot of pressure, you know. It's not an easy job. Yeah. So I'm an actor, but I'm a producer. I'm the president of the film company. So all the responsibility and all the everything falls on me. So if it's successful, oh yeah, great. And if we have a problem, everybody points the finger at you. So you gotta, it's nerve wracking. It's nerve wracking.
I agree with you.
You do it.
You know what? But you polish up well. You can't even tell that it stressed you out at all. It's awesome. I love that. Now, Judy, where did you grow up and how did you get into the entertainment industry?
Well, I'm originally from San Diego, second generation, back from the late 1800s. My whole family was there. When I met Ray, it was kind of interesting because I met him in Hollywood at a Toys for Tots event, which kind of fits into everything, being that it was a charitable type of event that I met him at. I'm part of another organization called the World Networks, and I'm an honorary person on that particular group, and their networking group, and I met Ray. And so I had a meeting with him, and I kind of come from the corporate business world, and you kind of move your skill sets over. And I sat down with him, gave my resume, I'm an actress, so on. And then I said, by the way, I can do these other things. And I just shoved him a piece of paper. And so I didn't go to work for him for about a year and a half, but I just said, well, if you need some help or something, give me a call. And how I kind of started, he was out of town. I think it was Comic-Con, Ray. And I was at an event, and we had our name on the at that event. And you say, can you just talk about the things we're working on? And I said, oh, sure. And so I went ahead and did it. And I remember him coming back and saying, you can do this. I said, well, yeah, just let me know what you need. And we've been working ever since. And it is a lot of work, and it's the business side. And I know everybody is really excited to say, when are we going to start filming? And, but there's so much work to be done before you ever even get to that point of bringing everybody together for filming. And I was part of, Night Mistress. I co-produced that with Ray that he mentioned that we have out there. So this is kind of a second round of my life, because I think you can do anything you set your mind to. And so I've been learning from Ray like there's no tomorrow. And you really have to like go through the motions and see what actually goes on and see it in person. It's not something you can explain to somebody. You have to be able to see it and what's required. And yes, there's no such thing as any hours you're not available when you're doing a movie, because if something goes haywire, it could be that 2 o'clock call. So we've been working together on our new projects right now, and I'm really excited because honestly, the web series we're doing was actually a creation of Ray. And he created this. If we were doing something else, so he created, let's do it this way. Let's start looking at this. And And I look at it now and I'm like, it's really our creation. We took it back, and we're really proud to have it for Dream Cinema. And I'm proud of Ray, because I'm like, we wouldn't have done that. You're the one that brought up these ideas. So his creativity and his years, and yes, he's very well respected. Everybody knows him, that's for sure. But it's kind of right now, I think we're taking back things because the industry has changed so much and is kind of a little bit of a turmoil. And so we're really doing, I really believe we're doing what Ray always set out to do, and we're doing the opportunity right now. So I'm really looking forward to 2026.
I love that. You're so supportive. You're just, and you sound like such an amazing lady. Like, you know
Thank
what you're
you.
doing. You really do. And Ray, you got a good girl right here. She's amazing. You work hard together. Now, tell us a little bit about the movies that you've been producing, that you've already produced. We'll talk about the ones that you already have out there.
The ones I got to roll out right now. I mean, I got a movie called Mansion of Blood with Gary Busey and Robert Picardo. It's out on
Oh,
on
wow.
Hulu. Hulu. It wasn't Netflix. I think it's on Hulu and all these other platforms. And then we have Everyday Miracles. That's in Netflix. And then we have Night Mistress right now, which is on Amazon Prime. That's the last one we did. Amazon Prime. Fossum. On and what is it? Hulu too, Judy?
Yes.
It's on a bunch of other things. And then yeah, I mean, and then The Extras coming out. That's another one we did with Tyrone Power Jr. and John Saxon that died. That's the last movie he did. But we have some issues with the writing and the director. So that's all done. That's going to come out soon. So
That's
now
awesome.
we're just focusing on this on LA Mob Tales. I got a ton of people that work with us. Frankie Roman and Mike Quiroga, the lawyer, and all these Marie Human, the co-producer. We've got a ton of people. This is that they're all doing their thing right now. And then
that's going to be a mob movie.
It's the mob movie, yeah, but it's a serial. It's not as a serial. There was a serial comedy, so it's going to be a lot of it's just mobsters, and then all the fumbles things they have happening, and how they have make mistakes and things don't get done, and they're going to do a heist and they never get to the heist because they start arguing about Santa Claus and stuff like that, and they get drunk and then they fight with each other. I mean, things like
So
that.
it's going to be comical. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's
comedy, murder, intrigue.
Everything, yeah, be serious, everything.
Activity.
Yeah, and then they all have dark sides, you know. They have these quirks, you know.
Oh yeah.
So
the characters will have their own character. That's a stronghold in the show.
Yeah, they have their own characters, and then they have their characters, and then you're gonna see their dark side, their when they're alone, their weirdness, and so that's funny. Because then they act like all these monsters. When they're alone, they got all these weird sight things, you know. And then people are going to get attached to that because then a lot of people are going to be able to relate to the stories, because you know, and because they're human, you know. It's going to be a fun show, you know. LA Mob Story.
And in life, nothing's perfect, and when you're dealing with the mob, which is that's a whole nother world, but that's an interesting world too. And now the characters having some funny sides to them, I think that's going to be really good because everybody thinks about the mob as very serious. Everything's, you know, you know what I mean? Like it's just very serious. They don't, you don't agree, you die.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, well, we're not doing that. We're trying to do it serial comedy. So we're kind of like making, you know, fun of all the stuff. We're doing the mobsters, but the mobsters they're going to have a little comic side.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So now, are you getting ready to start to film that? You're in the
we're all set. We're just locking in some locations and some of the people that we have in. A lot of the people that we're casting, and then we have some names that are attached. They want to come in and do stuff. And while we're doing all this, we're still working on Lost Realm: The Haunting Begins, which is a horror sci-fi movie that we have to do in Vegas. And then Time Scouts, which is what my uncle Louis Martinet, who's a big music producer. He's my cousin. And then we're gonna do his movie that he wrote. It's about this like Goonies, you know. It's like kids traveling through time.
Oh really?
So it's that one's fun too. We're getting to that right now too. And he does music.
Awesome.
He does my music. He does everything for me.
That is awesome. I love that. And would it be based for kids to watch too, or Is it like an
The
adult?
time scouts, yeah, time scouts, yeah.
Yes.
That's what a
Yeah,
good.
that's so cool. I'm glad you guys have broken the ice on that because, I mean, a lot of people strictly make movies for adults, but when you're adding a child type of movie in there, now you're gaining
Yeah,
a whole new audience because
yeah,
the kids
yeah. That one should be
today,
fun. It's just time. Yeah,
it's going to be based around
yeah,
kids
yeah,
today, right? So it's, yeah, because I think
yeah,
what Goonies is like 30 years old. I mean, it's quite
Mhm.
old.
yeah,
So a new
yeah.
movie based on mystery and intrigue, something for people to go like, what's going to happen next?
You know what?
Yes.
He was the creator of Goonies, one of the producer and the director. He passed away, but he's my friend. We had a bunch of movies lined up, you know, that we were going to do, but he died, so we can't continue with that. We're going to do like so. I'm glad I'm doing this time scouts with my cousin.
Mhm.
That
So
sounds great.
Louis Martinet, yeah.
I
So
think
yeah,
you're going to
John
have
Beaver,
too much fun with that, though. You might have a
yeah, that
lot of
one.
fun with that.
Oh yeah, that'll be
No,
fun. But we're doing this. We're focusing on this web series right now, which is a bigger thing,
yeah,
and getting the audience to come out and see Night Mistress and
yeah.
get that going really. That's all over. It's all over Europe doing really well.
Is it
So
really? Wow, that's amazing.
yeah.
Now, tell us a little synopsis about Night Mistress.
Well, that's about a girl that has a she. There was this girl who had her boyfriend was like a film producer or something in Hollywood, and then he got involved with some bad people and they ended up killing him. So she was all distraught and she didn't know what to do. So she starts looking at comic books, and then she starts getting her strength from the comic books and starts becoming the comic book characters, bringing them to life. So it's like kind of a vigilante comic book superhero girl, you see, and then yeah, she starts killing off the bad guys as she becomes the characters.
Oh, wow.
So that's yeah,
Awesome.
right, Judy. That's
Yes.
it, right?
Yes, that's it.
Now,
Yeah.
now, did you act in any of these films?
Oh
I
yeah,
know that you're
I'm an
going to do
actor.
this web
Yeah, of
series,
course.
right?
I act in all this stuff. I'm an actor. Yeah. I mean,
Oh, that's awesome.
I've always been an actor. I started doing this producing and directing thing and started my company years ago because I got tired of me doing all the work and people taking all my money. So I had to, so I just ended up and I ended up being the producer, the open of the film company, I hired directors and then but I help them direct the things. I got certain things that I want,
Right.
So I'm an actor in it, and the producer, and I help co-direct the stuff. Right now for like Time Scouts, not Time Scouts maybe, but for Lost Realm, I got Darren Warren, who she's a director for TriStar Pictures, and then Christopher Atkins. I'm gonna have him co-direct. You ever heard of Christopher Atkins? He was in the Blue Lagoon with Brooke Shields.
I do know him, yes. Blonde
Yeah, he's
guy.
my friend. He's a director. He's an actor. He's a director. He's really good. He's a really good director. So I'm bringing him on, and him and Darren Warren are going to direct Lost Realm. And then I'm going to be there, also be right in their ear, telling them, "Hey, no, I want this, I want that." So,
well, you got a dream and you got an idea of how you want things done, and that makes perfect sense. You have to help them in order to make it more like what your vision is. Then, because everybody has their own vision, but you want it to be in your vision because that's the way the story has been told.
Yes. Yeah.
So
Yeah, what
you have
on
to
a
help
certain lineup, yeah. Yep. And then so I mean, so well, it's just all everybody brings their artistical ideas and create art. We move through this world and as living entities, spirits, and what do you contribute to humanity? You contribute your idea of art, whether it's music or films or television or art or anything. That's how you express and communicate with each other, right? So it's art's very important, and films are very important, and music's very important. So but I've been like this since I was a kid. I've thought of this. That's how I got involved in all this since I was a child. Started growing up, doing acting and plays and things like that. And here we are.
Doing it. And you're doing it. And you're doing it every day until you die.
Day.
Oh,
every day, every night, till I die. Yeah. I drop dead like a rock.
You'll be 80 years old one day, Ray, and you'll be still making movies.
Yeah.
You make the passion, but when you really think about it, you're putting a footprint out to the world. I mean,
Yes.
that's a major thing, because what we have left in our, living here is what footprints do we put out to the world? And cinema does that. And when you really stop and think how many people you affect by the movies you make, and it's kind of, it gets away from, I shouldn't say the ego part of it, but it's like, I feel like I'm involved in something that's affecting the whole entire world. And that's a big thing. And people love movies, and people live in movies. And that's the one thing even with our web series we're doing right now, because people fall in love with characters. And that's what we're working on for this, because that has always been, people want to see, there's people that they want to sit there and focus on. And that's a huge thing, because in that, people want to watch movies to go on an adventure, and they want to be a part of the adventure. And that's the type of movies that Ray gravitates to, and put something out there. So it's very interesting. And honestly, him and I meeting, I always said that was some kind of divine something, but it's interesting because we come from different perspectives, but together, we really try to pull everybody together, because really Ray is a win-win for everybody. And it's not just about him. It's a win-win for anybody that's involved in his movies, working with him, because we all kind of need each other. And that's a huge thing now, because right now people are not as close as they used to be. And hopefully some of this will, bring some light back to their individual lives. And that's how I see the stuff that we're working on right now. And we're working on stuff that we want to work on and put it out there for the world to see. And I know the world will wait for it.
I love that. Thank you for sharing all that. And you know what? You are so right about this. Ray he is the guy that's going to get it done. That's amazing. I love this.
I'm persistent.
You are very persistent, but that's in a good nature. Yep. You really are.
You don't give up.
And now your locations, are you going to stay in the California, Nevada area?
Well, for the show that we're shooting, we're probably going to go to New Jersey and shoot there, and New York too.
Oh wow!
Because this particular show, we want to once we get it rolling, we want to a couple other shows we want to do appearances with, and move across the state and bring the mafia guys from LA to their area, and then do a serial comedy thing with them there, and then back again. So we'll be at Los Angeles, California, Nevada, New Jersey, and probably New York. Yeah, and where else the show takes us to travels to film, because wherever I see that it's going to give us an idea of a story, we're going to go there, and get it done, and make everybody fall in love with these characters in this project. That's our goal.
What made you go for the mob type of movie? Just curious.
I do what I like that I think people like. But it's like I like mob movies. I like my thing is like space adventures and medieval times, Dungeons and Dragons. And so I want to do create a movie with Dungeons and Dragons and Kings in the Middle Ages, things like Star Wars, space adventures, and then mobster movies. The mob or horror sci-fi, those are fun too. But the mob movies, they're fun to do. There's a lot of history there, and you can make it dark, or you can make it light or lighten it up like we're going to do. And they're very entertaining, you see. And
you're bringing the public into that world. Like every movie that you're talking about, you're bringing these people who are sitting on their couch or in their room into that world. So their mind is learning about being in that world from the film.
We're bringing them on a journey, on a ride with us into another world with us. So they can see and they can be part of something, and they'll enjoy it. They'll become part of something, and I hope that a lot of people do get on board and watch our web series and become part of it, and and feel like they're part of the family there, and have a good time and make their life. Bring a little laughter into to people's lives.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. I can see it becoming very popular. Because remember how The Sopranos, when that came out, how popular that became. I feel like you're the next on the
Thanks.
You know what I mean? Your next show that's going to show the inside of what it's like to be a person that is high up in the mob. Now, are you going to play a boss? Are you going to be like one of the bad
Yeah, I'm the
guys?
mob. I'm the bad. I'm
You
the
are?
bad. The
You're the
bad
mob
mob
boss?
boss. Yeah, yeah,
I can see that.
yeah.
I can see that.
Y- Yeah, I'm the bad mob boss. But there's and I got other people in there, and they're they're mobsters. But then you're gonna see the real life of them when they're together or hanging out doing something, or the other side. You get to see the other side and how they do funny nonsense stuff, and that's gonna bring the warmth of the characters to people's hearts. You see,
That's right.
and
Because
that's
you
what
have
we're
to
trying to
love
do.
or hate the character. In order to be in love with the
Yeah,
show, you
yeah,
have to love or hate the character. If you hate them, it's
yes.
even better sometimes. Isn't
That's
that
right,
weird how
and
that works?
that's why the characters have these quirky little dark sides that we don't see it with each other in the show, but the audience is going to see it. They go, "Hey, you don't see that he has that?" And then we're not supposed to see it, but you people will see it, and it brings the character to life, and it brings a different texture to it, a different dimension. Because they have people
That's
are
awesome.
people are complicated. Humans are complicated. They have multiple dimensions, so you can't just do a character that's all mob 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 mob. You have to have colors to it.
Right.
So we're getting these characters to have different colors and different. You just there's 24 hours in a day. You don't act the same way 24 hours in a day.
No.
Every minute, every hour, you have different emotions, different feelings, and that's why we're going to do these characters to show that, and so people can attach
Now, is
themselves
it
and go,
going to be
hey,
the
hey,
mob
I
now?
see
Like,
that. I'm not that. I'm not that.
are
Huh?
you going to be the mob
Say
now,
what?
like today, 2026, or is it going to be based around like the past?
We're going to base it like in the 1940s, like 1940s
Oh, even
mobsters.
better.
Yeah, like the 1940s monsters, but living in 2026. But they still hung up in the 1940s. So they live like in the 1940s, but they're in the 2026. You say, hey Judy, that's a good one. I like that.
Yeah, I like
That,
that.
yeah. So yeah. So that's where we're gonna act and behave like we're 1940s, but we don't realize time has moved forward, and we're we're
Right.
we're in a new millennium, right? So
Exactly.
yeah. So that's
Oh
going
my
to be funny
God.
too, They're
That's
dressed like
awesome.
the 1940s and all this. They're in 2026, and they're throwing people off. And, there's some comedy in there with some of the monsters too. They're doing funny nonsense because they're stuck
That's,
back in time,
that's
right?
awesome. Now, the
Yeah.
characters that you're choosing for this show, do they naturally have a funny side? Are you picking people that look
Well,
Italian, or are
no, no,
you,
no.
how's
No,
this
no. We
the
have
casting
Well,
go?
the 1940s had different mobsters. We have to have the Italian mobsters. We have the Chinese, Asian mobsters. We have the
Oh
Black
yeah,
American
yeah.
mobsters.
About those guys.
I'm sorry.
I forgot
Sorry.
about those guys.
Yeah, because there's Irish, there's Asian, there's Black Americans, there's Italians, there's the Zoot Suits. We got the Zoot Suits coming in there too. So we have all these gangs. We're gonna have scenes where there's 3 or 4 or 5 different gangs. There's a lot of people there all meeting at a location, and they all meet and they're gonna have their arguments to discuss, you know, what the territories and all that stuff, and then they're going to fight, and then we'll see the funny side. Yeah, so yeah, there were all types of mobs gangs back then. It wasn't just the
Yeah.
Italians.
Oh
The
no.
Italians are just
I
the most
know.
famous
And
ones,
I
but
think that's what
yeah,
we think, though. You know what I mean? Like the public
yeah,
just thinks about the mob as only
no,
being the Italian people, but you're right.
yeah, yeah. And they introduced a little history too, because people forget, where the Zoot Suits. That's where Zoot Suits came from. Those are the Zoot Suits, and then the Black American gangs too, and all the Irish, right, the Chinese, all those guys.
Yeah.
They all had their own mobsters too in New York, New Jersey, in California, Los Angeles, everywhere, right? So
Wow.
that's a little history there too.
That's awesome. And I think that when you create your characters, they'll all have like human problems,
That's
like
right.
Yes.
relating to all of us. Like somebody might have depression, somebody might have a drug
Right.
abuse, all the
Yeah.
things that we live
That's
with
right.
today.
That's right. Because look, it's comedy comes from pain, and when people that are good comedians or say good comedy stuff, they're really coming from a painful side of their life, and they're just making you laugh, but they're inside they're struggling, but that's what makes them good comedians, because they're human. it's the human side. So we're going to try to show that. It'll bring a different life to the characters. And that's, I mean, right?
Now,
So
Judy, are you going to be in this movie? Are you going to be in this web series?
Yes, I am.
You are.
Am I allowed to say what I am, Ray?
Yeah, you can tell them.
I'll give my character. I'm a corrupt judge.
You are. Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
A corrupt judge. And like he said, I won't say what it is, but I have issues too.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. That's awesome. So even your character is going to have a lot going on.
Absolutely.
Well, a corrupt judge. Ooh. So you're working for Ray.
Yes.
Well, she's working against us. So we just got to try to buy her out, but she has to.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what it is. That's
and
awesome.
then because I have the monster guys. He plays both sides. I got other guys in the team that are the Italian ones, and that are with me, and they have you're going to see their side quirky sides, and then you're going to go, man, these guys are monsters, but look at they're human. They have their side where nobody sees, and some of it is funny, some of it is sad. We put a lot of thought into this show, a lot of work into it. So I hope people like it.
I don't see why they wouldn't. I mean, that's just a new avenue to watch a show and the series at that. And we love series. Everybody's getting addicted to series. Anything that has more than one episode. You know what I mean? Leave you hanging on the edge on that episode to the next episode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll do a lot of that. And then we'll try to solve it.
Because you never know. It's like, who shot JR? Well, they didn't let us know for 2 weeks. Yeah. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah.
I did.
And we all waited. And we couldn't wait to watch that episode. Who shot JR? Am I wrong?
No,
remember
we got everybody hooked on the show. They wanted to see what's going on next. Can't give you all the secrets and all those things. You got to wait a little bit, and a little
watch.
Yeah,
and watch the show.
That's amazing. No, you're going to be going to a lot more galas, and well, you said you're doing an awards thing, right?
Oh no, I got a lot of events coming up. Yeah, I got the Samara Network, the Luxury Gala. Yeah, it's an Austrian gala, and that one's a big one. There's like about 1,200 people come to that, and you got big stars there. Right now we got Ernie Hudson came to the last one. He's going to be in our show, in our movie. He's in the Ghostbusters. He was the black guy in Ghostbusters, the movie. Yeah, he's going to be. We're getting him in Lost Realm, the movie, and we're trying to get him to the show right now. I got a bunch of other people that are names that are coming in. I'm trying to get Robert Picardo from Star Trek. He was in my movie Mansion of Blood. I'm going to bring him to the show. People like a lot of names that I know that I want to be part of this. Studio cameos. Yeah, I know a lot of people. Yeah, and then they'll come in and do their cameos.
Yeah, those are great. Having people in cameos is great because maybe you can't get them for a season, but you can get them for like something really quick and in and out.
I just need a lot more funding. It's all about funding too. You gotta.
Well, maybe they'll get addicted and they'll want to come back.
Yeah, they get addicted. They come back.
Yeah.
So cameos almost stay for the season. So
that's awesome. You guys are doing such a great job. I can't wait. I'm excited. I'm excited for you, but I'm mostly excited to see what you create. The film. Yes, the films. Now, the Miracles movie. Could you give us a little synopsis on that one?
That's Everyday Miracles. That film. We got Gary Cole in that. Gary Cole played the father in the Brady Bunch movie, and Zoe Perry. That movie is about this young man. That's on Netflix right now. It's a Dream Cinema Productions with association with other studios. That was a young boy that he was born with these powers to raise and cure the dead, but it wasn't humans, only animals. So he couldn't raise the animals. The humans are heal humans, but he could heal every animal. And his mom was a fanatical religious person, and she was really upset that her son could not heal people, only animals. So that's what the story's about. And at the end of the movie, not the end, but towards the end of the movie, he does heal a girl, and he realizes he has other powers. But for the whole thing, he thinks it's just animals. So it's really interesting. It's called Everyday Miracles. The original name of the movie was Cotton. distribution, and they changed the name to Everyday Miracles.
Oh, really? I didn't know
It's
they
fine.
could do that.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh
unaware
yeah.
of
Well, you
that.
have to ask us and stuff, but yeah, yeah. Hmm.
They have to make sure that it's
We
not
see
an
some of the
owned
posters.
name or something, or like copywritten. Is that how that works?
Oh yeah. You have to do. You have to have lawyers to check all that, and of course, things cannot be. You can't have anything that's owned by somebody else
Symbol.
or anything unless you have
Yeah.
permission or you have contracts for them. You can't just go gun ho and do whatever you want.
Right.
No.
A lot of people don't
Yep.
understand that either.
No,
I
because
actually I
I
didn't
was
know anything about that either. So that's interesting.
because you see to make these things you have to. I'm an actor, I'm a director, and I'm a producer, I'm a singer, and all that. But I'm a businessman. You got to know the business of the business. You got to understand how it runs, what's allowed, what's not allowed. You got to know the unions. You got to know the work. I mean, it's just a lot you got to know. Not only the art side, but the business side and the creativity, but the work side of how things. You got to have lawyers. I mean, like, I got my team of lawyers that look at all the legal stuff, the contracts. You have to have legality and the creativity. It's complicated. It's a lot of work because you got to know so much, because every time you turn somewhere, you get hit by something, and along the way, you'll be hit by rocks and bumps, and either you learned it by doing it, or you learned it by getting hit by it, or you learned it because you studied it.
Yeah.
One way or the other, you're gonna learn.
And it's easier to have that already in place before you even worry about it.
Oh yeah. I'm I
So
make
you got
sure
the shield up before you get hit by
we got a lot of
anything else.
shields. We got to make sure 99% of the problems are taken care of before we even start, because we want to have a successful run and a successful show, and not have to deal with nonsense that'll stop our process, right? Because that costs everybody a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of frustration, and we don't want that. We try to avoid all that. I try to keep all my investors happy and all the people involved successfully, grow and develop and make something good and move on to the next and keep on
I
going.
look forward to seeing Judy as a crooked judge.
Crooked judge.
I really can't wait. I mean, I'm
And
looking at you, Judy, and I'm like, she's going to make such a great crooked judge.
Thank you.
That's a stretch. Now, are you going to go into individual lives with your characters? So, like, you're talking more like the business part, but then their home life.
Yeah, maybe. I think we're going to do something a little bit like that. Like, I got one of the characters, Mike Quiroga. He's the lawyer. He's actually a lawyer, and he's going to play Big Al. But he has this dark side where he's a mobster, but he collects fingers. When he has the dead bodies, he collects the fingers in his dark side. And you're going, what is this guy has a box of fingers? What's wrong with this dude?
Oh,
So he's kind of this psycho mobster, and he collects damn fingers. I mean, and then we're going to get into his life like that, right? Into his story. And like you have like Miss Judy here, and she's a judge, but she's got a psychotic side. So we have a scene. I hate to spoil this, but we have a scene where we go in and we catch her all neurotic in her office, and we ask her what she's doing, and she's looking for marbles. So what are you looking at? She has her marbles because she her thoughts and her ideas and her marbles.
Oh,
so she has to have her damn marbles, but she can't be a judge, right? So,
oh no, that's hilarious.
Yeah. So she has all the mobsters that come in to talk to her about something serious on their knees, looking for marbles. They get lost, So things like that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, there's special marbles. They help my thoughts.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
So
that's pretty
Judy's
pretty
gonna have
funny,
a little
right?
bit of a mental issue.
Just a mental issue with these damn marbles.
A little one.
And all
But
these
maybe
characters
that's
have
what
their
makes you corruptible.
Yeah, and we have a
Right.
district attorney. We have a district attorney that has her psych thing like that with her problems, and we have other mobsters that have their own problems. Yeah. So all the characters have a
You're gonna be one of the big bosses. Are you gonna have any problems? Well, you're gonna have a lot of problems.
A lot of problems. But problems is what makes us human, and that's why people want to watch how you get out of these problems. How do you solve them? How do you
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, so like this character, we have a judge here who thinks her thoughts are in marbles.
Keeps her marbles in a jar.
And she always has to have her marbles in her pocket.
Jar, Judy.
Yeah.
And Ray's is to put up with all the characters he has to deal with.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
thinking. Like every character
It
that
is
you're
gonna be
working
like,
with.
like what's wrong with this person today?
Yeah, so you have a neurotic judge. She has neurotic days when she can't find her half of her marbles, and she'll be neurotic, and you'll know you're gonna be hung that day or not,
Yeah.
and things like that, right?
Yes.
Now, what about anger issues? Is she going to have anger issues so she can scream and yell at the people that she's in
Yeah,
front
of
of?
course she's gonna have anger issues. Yeah, we're all gonna have
Okay.
anger issues, funny moments,
Yep.
things like
Oh,
that. So yeah, you know,
fun,
and like
fun,
one
Judy.
of
You
the
got a fun part. You do.
so we have one of the other mobsters, Big Al. So Big Al, and he's his side thing is that he likes to collect these fingers, and then he goes kind of berserk when he loses his fingers that he has in boxes hidden all over the place. So
Oh my
and that yeah. So I mean, so you see, there's a comedy to
Oh my
these
God.
guys. I mean, it's kind of dark, but then it's funny, and then it's weird, but then they're
Well, you
people,
kind
then
of
they're
have to,
mobsters.
though. Yeah.
The what?
But the
Yeah,
serial killer will collect things.
yeah.
Sometimes they collect things, body
He's the
parts.
cleaner. Yeah.
Oh, he's a
we
cleaner.
we got a
Really.
character called the cleaner. We got pretty face Vinny, who's Frank
Oh, wow.
Roman, and he comes in and cleans the messes, and then he has his problems, you know. So yeah,
And that
it's just
guy's got to be crazy, too, because he's the cleaner. It
he's the
takes a
cleaner. They call
strong
him the
man
cleaner.
to deal with a
Yeah.
dead body.
We got another cleaner. Johnny Van Core is going to be another cleaner. He has his problems too, you know. So
Wow.
yep,
That's awesome.
yep, yeah.
A lot of
So it's a
cult
lot of
characters,
writing,
for sure.
a lot of writing, a lot of you got to think, and
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
sit with it, and then we create these stories, you know. So
That's awesome.
yeah, that's how you
Now,
develop stuff.
are you going to be creating
That's
the
how-
stories as the series is running? So, like every so many weeks, you have to think of more.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Wow.
Yeah, so
Yes.
You guys are
so we
not going to be busy. Like you're going to go from filming to
yeah.
making a new script.
This is how Robin Williams worked. He didn't like scripts. He got a script. You have the story and the basis of the story, and then he would take the script and throw there and start creating. He started doing improv towards the character based around the line things. Like, see, I've done a lot of stage in my life. I've done a lot of improv, a lot of Shakespeare, a lot of comedy. I belong to a lot of theater companies, like the Groundlings, the BFA theater company. So I've done a lot of stage, and you do a lot of improv. So this show, we're going to do it with just a basis. Like today we're going to shoot the scene at the cigar shop and the mobsters are going to be talking about the next heist, and then that's the idea. And then we start coming up with the lines as you improv them through the thing. And what works. When it doesn't, we keep out, right? And that's how Robin Williams used to do his work. That was he was so good because it was all real in the moment. There was no structured thing. I forget this line. It sucks. So you don't have none of that. Yeah. So everything's
But
going to be
then,
really
and
good.
what if the line doesn't fit? Yeah, and then you got to think like it sounded good on paper, but what if it doesn't fit
It
in the
won't work.
scene?
It doesn't fit in the scene. Yeah.
Right.
So we have some like that, but a lot of it's going to be like improv and we develop as we go. You know, but we already have an idea how it's all going to be, and we have it all written down. But we want to do a lot of improv as we go along, a lot of improv with it. You know, so bring the reality to it. Yeah, and not just
So
something else.
you're doing the series, and then you're working on another film on top of that.
Lost Realm, The Haunting Begins. Yes, that one we're set up. We're dealing with that. I got actors lined up. I got Mark Hamill from Star Wars. I got Robert Picardo from Star Trek. We got Ernie Hudson from Ghostbusters. Who else? We have a few others. Ernie Hudson, Mark Hamill, Doug Jones. My friend Doug Jones, he's in Star Trek now. He's done all these movies. Yeah. Lee Arenberg from Pirates of the Caribbean. So we have all these people lined up.
You got Lee too? That's awesome. Lee's a great actor.
Lee Arenberg. We got Lee Debbie, we got Lee Arenberg from you.
He's awesome. Good people.
Yeah, he came through you. That's right.
He did.
Forgot about that.
I love him. I love all
nice
you
guy.
guys. So I connect anybody that wants to be connected, and he's a professional, and just like oh my gosh, my brain's going blank right now. hate that it happens. I hate it when it happens. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But I love that what you're doing. I think this is going to be so much fun. This year is going to be crazy for you.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be
You're
crazy.
going to be busy. Judy's going to have you busy. You guys are going to go nonstop.
I'm ready for crazy and putting things out there. Like I said, it's that footprint to the world, and we're kind of in an interesting time where I really think these are going to hit because like people want to connect again. They want to connect to characters. They want to connect to something to look forward to. I think that's gonna be a big point this year. I really, really do. And we really have it in the movies that we have. They're different for different genres and different things. So it gives it makes us very versatile of the things that we have going, like Lost Realm, and it's different than obviously on Time Scout. So we have a lot of different things going on that will be attached to Dream Cinema. A lot.
You guys are gonna blow up this year. You watch. You guys are gonna do. It's gonna be through the roof. Ray, you're never gonna get another night's sleep.
No, I don't sleep at all, and I got a ton of people to work with and deal with. Yeah, it's no, I don't sleep. I sleep in pieces, little bit here, a little bit there. Yeah,
Little bit here, a little
You
bit
know.
there,
Yeah.
at least what you're doing is so incredible. I'm so happy for you.
yeah, it's fun. Thank you. Yeah.
That's all right. It's
So-
amazing. Judy, where can people get in touch with you when they want to check you out and look at your work?
They can find, I obviously have an IMBD out there. It's Judy, and the last name is Carman, Karman. And if anybody wants to reach out to me, it is judy.dcp, as in Dream Cinema Productions, @gmail.com. And I'm out there on Facebook, that type of thing.
You kind of have to be. Everybody is
Yeah,
on
you
Facebook.
do. I think that was just kind of a given. We're out
That's a
there
good
on
one.
Facebook.
It really is.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
And what about you, Ray? Where can everybody get in touch with you?
Oh, I'm all over the place. I'm on
You're
Instagram.
everywhere.
I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. I'm on everything. You can go to my email starbase20@aol.com. So I mean, and we're creating the website right now for Dream Cinema. We're building that because we're going to put the web series attached to that as well. So, but right now, I mean, I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. I'm on everything. I'm on Telegram, all that stuff. So, but on Facebook and Instagram, I'm there.
Mhm.
And
It's about
some of
6
the
minutes
pictures.
left. What do you want
was
people
that?
to know? What would you like the public to know about what you're doing and all this fun stuff that you're involved with?
But I want them to know that to come and watch everything that Dream Cinema does, all the movies, all the TV shows, and if you want to be part of it, just get in touch with us and we'll see what you do. And we're always trying to get people to come and work with us and into our team. Whether you're an actor or a crew member or an investor or a developer or or any of that stuff, where we use people like in the last movie, Night Mistress, we have a team of video game developers. We're developing a video game for Night Mistress.
Wow.
That's almost done. So we have the video game, we have a graphic novel, we have the movie, we're trying to develop toys. So we're going to do the same thing for this show. So it requires a lot of people with a lot of talent. So we're always looking for new talent and new things.
That's awesome. I love it. I think you guys are doing an incredible job. I can't wait for this mob series to come out. And are you going to do a game on that too? Because you should do a mob game.
Oh yeah.
That would be
Oh
awesome.
yeah. We'll create
That would
that.
be
We'll create a
fun.
video game.
And make a character for
Build
Judy.
characters.
That,
Yeah, we'll do characters.
that evil judge that Judy's gonna be.
She'll come with her
Spitfire
own
and all
mark. She'll come with a little character with an action figure with marbles in her hands. And then
There you go. And the marbles have powers, right?
That's
Right.
right. Mhm.
That's right. You throw the marbles and they
And
blow
have
them
the
up.
Come on,
energy.
you have to
Yes.
make it Lovecraftian then, you have to have some stuff come out of the darkness for her, at times.
That's a good idea. Mark's giving me ideas. Stop it, you're killing it. I got my head's blown
Got
up.
a
with
lot
stuff.
of ideas.
That's a good one.
I love
He's giving me
Lovecraft.
ideas.
Lovecraft is like my favorite author.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, heck yeah. H.P. Lovecraft, absolutely. Yes. There's I was going with John Beekler. We were going to do a couple of movies based off his stuff. He was the director he directed Friday the 13th. He was my friend, but he died a year ago, so we never got to do that. But we did a lot. We were looking at a lot of like Lovecraft. Very, very, very good stuff. I love it.
With mobsters would be awesome.
Hey, that's a good one.
It really fits the time frame too, though. You know.
Judy, write that down. Lovecraft. This is Mark's idea.
Yeah.
We'll give him credit. This is Mark's idea.
That's so cute.
That's good, Mark.
I like that.
Yep. Mark's a smart guy. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, of course he does. So very anyway. So yeah, I love creativity. Everybody has something creative that bring into it, and you're going, wow, I didn't think of that.
Because somebody else was supposed to give you the idea.
Yeah.
That was the meeting the other person was meant to be.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. So.
Well, I'm so glad you guys came on. I'm so glad to hear all this wonderful stuff about what you're doing. It's exciting. I'm so happy for you guys. I really am.
Yep. So then we're we're doing our thing, and then we're always looking for new talents and new creativity and new investors. We always need investors, people to come in and be part of it. And then we got a product placement because that keeps the shows going,
Oh yeah. So, especially the web series. And you can see what works and what doesn't work when you're filming and how the audience reacts. Now you're going to do integration so that people can make comments on episodes.
Yes. Actually, yes. What's that website called that Frankie was saying?
Oh,
Judy?
Is it Snapchat or something? Snapchat, is it?
Snapchat or something where people interact with you, and you go in there, you say which one's your favorite character, and what do you want to see? Oh yeah, it's going to be interactive as well. Yes.
Right.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys very much for coming on this evening. I really, really appreciate it.
Well, thank you for having us.
Well, thank you, and thank Mark for letting us do this as well, and you, Deborah.
Yeah.
Always love you guys. So we are going to take a quick break while we switch guests. And I want to thank you guys, Racer and Judy, so much for coming on tonight. We look forward to having you back on.
Thank
Wonderful.
You. Wait.
Thank you.
Yeah. Get with Brian Polito, too. See if you can get up a new live-action Lady Death movie. That would be so awesome.
Oh man, that's a good idea too.
Yeah, but Brian has the rights to all of that, so yeah. But that would be great to see a live action Lady Death. Maybe Judy could play Lady Death.
Yeah.
Judy could do it. He's walking death already.
All right, folks. We'll be right back, and I'm going to get Willie in the group with us, and we'll get this going. All right. Yep.
Welcome to the show, everybody. This is Debbie Perkins with the Hollywood Red Carpet Radio Show, and I'm here with Willie Lee. But I think, Willie, you're called by something else, aren't you?
Yeah, no, man. Hey, you got it right. You downtown, man. That's what they call you, downtown Debbie.
That's probably only on the PORN sites. Gotta be careful.
No. I don't know nothing about all that. Now, I didn't mean get all up in your business.
Oh, that's so funny. So how you been, Willie? What's going on?
Yeah. Hey, man. Hey, we got it going on, man. Hey, for all y'all out there in Radio Land don't know, hey, look at him. Let me go ahead and introduce myself. My name is Willie Lee. I run Willie's Worm Farm down in Waldo, Florida, and I run Willie's Cricket Emporium up in Sandy Run, South Carolina, man. Hey, I make worm hot dogs, and I sell pea jugs too. Hey, pea jugs, that's right. And I am also available for birthday parties. Hey, I can keep going on and on and on and on about everything that I got going on, man. Hey, I got chumderware. Hey, I ain't allowed to talk. Hey, I'm on this radio show called the Censorship Sucks Roundtable Radio Show. Hey, and they don't allow me to talk about chumderware over there, man. Hey, but I sell. No, hey, it's a true story, man. Hey, I sell my used underwear. Hey, I got them in a bag and I got a label on them and everything. Willie's Worm Farm Chumderwear. And what it is, man, hey, make catfish bait. Hey, and they cost extra if I add corn to them. I ain't gonna lie. Hey, it's chumderwear. You know, like chumming for fish and you chum for catfish. Well, these here, man, you take these underwear, hey, and you hook them up to a hook and you throw them out there with a little lead weight, hey, and they go down to the bay. You catch some of the biggest catfish you ever heard told of, man. Chumderwear. Hey, and if anybody out there wants to get in contact with me, I got a website, man. My website, hey, y'all write it down. It's Willie Lee V at gmail.com. That's my website, man. Hey, I got all kind of other stuff going on too,
Willie.
man.
Willie,
Yeah,
I don't mean to interrupt, but we all know that that's an email. That's not a website. All right? Come on now. Come on. We've been telling you this for how many years now? It's not a website. It's an email.
But hey, that's how folks get a hold of me, man. Hey, look here, I sell feet pictures too. Anybody out there want pictures of my feet? I sell them too. Hey, you'd be surprised. People contacts me, man, on my website, whatever you're calling it, email or Gmail website, man. Hey, and I get all kind of people writing me letters and stuff and telling me how great I am and how they want to come down to the. Hey, I tell them, y'all come on down to the farm, man. We got all kind of stuff going on. Come on.
That's so funny. How did you ever come up with that character? That's incredible.
Yeah, but hey, look at him. Hey, so out of character. Okay, so
yeah. Can you come out of character? That's the question.
So,
oh my God, it's James out of the dressing room.
Yeah, so so on minds.com, a lot of people out there are not familiar with minds.com, but on minds.com, I went to create my account on minds.com. And in the background, Cocaine Blues was playing by Johnny Cash. And in that song, it talks about Willie Lee. And it says, oh, yes, my name is Willie Lee. If you got a warrant, then read it to me. And that's where Willie Lee came from. So I used the tag Willie Lee on minds.com, Willie Lee 1971. And then I came across Mark, the producer here, and I came across John Galt, who is the host of the Censorship Sucks Roundtable radio show. And we started doing this Willie character probably 5 or 6 years ago, maybe back in 2019 or 2020. I think it was 2019. It's been quite a while. And he wanted me to do this character, and I developed the character, and it's kind of based a lot on, it's a mix between Ernest T. Bass and Jethro Bodine, along with Joe Dirt. You know, he's kind of like a nasty, gross kind of character, but he's also lovable at the same time. And Willie gets into all these different predicaments, and he does all these crazy stunts and crazy things. He drives around in a Pinto, but he also took the Pinto and converted it into a rocket ship and went up into outer space. Well, actually, it was Michael the Midget, which is another character that was created. Michael the Midget stole the Pinto with the rockets on the back of it and went up into outer space, and he mined all these asteroids and came back down and hid the asteroid rocks from Willie, and apparently it's a mystery even today where exactly those asteroid rocks are. But Willie, he took and made a spaceship out of junk iron down at the junkyard, and he took it up into outer space, and that was one of his adventures. As a matter of fact, that was probably one of the best shows that we ever did, was the Willie's rocket ship episode. We had all the sound effects in the background, and so you have to keep in mind the scenario. The way it was set up is that Willie's got this worm farm down in Waldo, Florida, and he decided that he was going to move up to South Carolina and start a cricket emporium. And I can go on and on and on about this Willie character, but that pretty much sums it up.
That's the funniest thing ever.
Oh, yeah.
It really is. It's kind of like a cross between Duck Dynasty and
something like that.
the combination. Now, where'd you grow up, Willie?
I actually grew up in the great state of South Carolina. I spent a lot of time overseas. I've lived in different places across the country. I used to be a truck driver, and I've been to every state there is in the Union with the exception of Maine, Alaska, and Hawaii. So, I've been around, and I used to write songs too. And that was one of the things that I did at first on the Censorship Sucks Roundtable Radio is I wrote a bunch of songs, as a matter of fact. And I was going to sing a song for you guys too, if you wanted me to.
Mark, can he sing a song for us?
Sure, if he's going to do Lucky 7 or one of those really greats from the original skits that we've done, of course.
Yeah, we're not going to do Lucky 7. I've got that other one about Railroad Bill, but I wanted to talk a little bit about some of the other stuff that we had done on the show in the past. We've got Aunt Mama Lou. We've got a bunch of characters, and I can't take all the credit for the Willie portion of it. It's a 2-hour show, and Willie comes on for about 20 or 25 minutes, and we do this every Sunday night. But there's some other great characters too. Willie has a manager, and his name is Saul Good. And the part of Saul Good is played by John Galt, the host of the Censorship Sucks Roundtable Radio Show. And Saul Good is Willie's manager. But Saul Good doesn't do a very good job of managing Willie. He's supposed to be taking care of all of his music contracts and his book contracts and commercials and taking care of his money, too. Willie is under contract with, and Saul Good does not know that I'm on this show tonight. Because Willie didn't get permission from Saul to be on here. But Willie, he wants to step out a little bit and broaden his horizons because Saul Good is not doing a very good job. But we've got other characters on the show, too, such as Aunt Mama Lou. And Aunt Mama Lou was played by Utivation Nation. Aunt Mama Lou is Willie's wife, but she used to be his sister. Then she became his mama. And then she became his wife. And what happened is, we created this character of Aunt Mama Lou. And what happened is Willie's daddy, he'd married Aunt Mama Lou from down there at the church, or married Miss Dorothy from down there at the church. And Miss Dorothy had a daughter named Lou. Well, actually, Miss Dorothy had 23 daughters altogether, but one of them was named Lou. And then Miss Dorothy, she ended up killing a bunch of college kids down by the lake because they was fornicating or whatever, and they found her. She was drenched in blood, and they sent her to the mental institution, and that's where she died. She passed away. To this day, Willie has got Miss Dorothy's ghost in a mason jar sitting on a shelf. It kind of lights up and flies around and stuff like that. But needless to say, then Daddy had married Lou, who was his daughter, but there's no incest there because there's no blood relation. So Daddy married Lou, and then Daddy got a case of the guy gone. So then Willie married Lou, and Lou became Willie's wife, was his sister, then it was his mama, and all the cousins called her, Aunt, so she became Aunt Mama Lou. And that's another character that was developed, and we've got another few characters. We've got Michael the Midget, we've got Steve, we've got Uncle Chuck. I think Mark did Uncle Chuck one time, if I'm not mistaken.
No, I was
Mark
Uncle Buck.
Uncle Buck? I thought it was Uncle Chuck.
No. That was John that did that.
Okay, so then, we've got other characters. We had, way back when, we had Uncle J. Carl Bob. He came in there, and he got sent to prison for molesting alligators down in Florida. And that was another story. But we've come up with all these characters and different storylines and everything.
I had to think that wouldn't really molest the alligators.
Well, hey, that is a thing. Okay, if you feed the alligators, that's called molesting wildlife. So he was feeding alligator, and this is a true story actually. This guy down in Florida, he had this thing going on where he would do this roadside thing, and he would call the alligators to him, and he'd pet them on the head and stuff like that, and kiss them on their noses, and they wouldn't bother. He'd do this every day, and they were almost like his pets. Well, he ended up getting sent to prison for doing that, because they called him molesting alligators because it's illegal to feed, wildlife, feed the alligators. So, that was actually a true story. But we've come Yeah, we've got all kind of, we have fun with it. And that's the
You
thing
do.
about it is in this world, there's so much confusion. There's so much going on in the news. It's just like just today, or was it yesterday? There was another shooting up in Minneapolis. This guy, he got killed. And you can talk the politics of it and go back and forth and debate what's going on and what your opinion is. But the
Oh,
fact
yeah.
of the matter is, it's something this week, and then next week it's going to be something else, and the week after it's got to be something else, and
Oh,
there's
yeah.
got to be a little humor. And I get to running off at the mouth, so you've got to interrupt me if you want to get a word in. I don't
No, I
mind a
love it.
bit.
It's nice. It's a pleasant change. It
Okay.
is. It really is. Because I learn from you. I'm learning everything that you're talking about. But I think that you have such a great character. You're going to have to make this into a movie.
Yeah, well, hey, I need a manager. Anybody out there want to be a manager? Yeah, we need to have a Willie manager.
Well, don't
Uh,
forget to tell her about your comic books too.
yeah, well,
Oh, yes. I heard that you were doing comic.
yeah, I've got this
Amazing. That's
wonderful lady.
cool.
I've, I've got this wonderful lady, and she actually did the illustration for the comic book and wrote out all the storylines and everything. And on
Oh,
Amazon.com, you can find it on Amazon. It's called The Adventures of Willie Lee and Friends. And it's actually well done. And she's got a bunch of them, that she did and put them on Amazon.com. The Adventures of Willie Lee and Friends. And they're pretty great comic books, actually. Um, and
no,
I'm
these
getting
all people are these characters all based on the Willie show, your Willie show? Like
Yeah,
the
yeah, all these
okay.
characters, you'd asked me, come on the show and talk about, what we've done in the past and what we're planning on the
Yeah.
future and everything. And, the fact of the matter is we all need to explore. oh, we, we all, we, I crack myself up. We,
You're cracking me up.
we
That's
all
great.
need to, we need to all explore our inner Willie.
Oh, in a Willie? Okay.
Everybody's got an inner Willie. You've got a part of yourself, where that humor is still there, that childhood is
Right.
still there. And, you don't have to be serious all the time. I mean, though, it's a bad world we live in. And I mean, that's all there is to it. There's all kinds of things going on, but we need not to forget that we're human, and we need to learn to try to be there for each other and make each other laugh. And that's all this Willie character does. He tries to make people laugh. He tries to be funny. And like I said, I've written several songs, and this song right here, this is a song about this is a true story. If you don't believe me, just ask me. That's one of Willie's lines right there. If you don't believe me, just ask me. There's a true story about this guy, and it's been debated on, and I don't even have the details of it. I forgot. It's been so long ago since I read about it. But the guy's name was Bill Morrison, Bill Morrison or William Slater, and it's been debated on what this guy's name was. But he went by. There was also another name, Morris Slater. I think it's what he went by. But this is a story about Railroad Bill. And what happened with Railroad Bill is he ended up getting shot in Atmore, Alabama, after becoming an outlaw. He robbed a bunch of trains and stuff like that. And these trains, they went back and forth from either Montgomery or Birmingham, Alabama, probably Montgomery down to Bay Minette. And he became an outlaw. He worked at the turpentine mills down in Bluff Springs, Florida. And something happened, and I'm not sure if it was actually in Bluff Springs where it happened or if it was actually in Atmore, Alabama where it happened. But there was some sheriff's constable that decided that William, and he was a black, and that's another thing that was debated, whether he was a black man or he was half black and half white. But apparently they tried to take his Winchester rifle from him, and he wouldn't let them take his Winchester rifle from him, and he ended up shooting the constable. And he was a hard-working man, but then he became an outlaw just by that one event. And it was said that he was like a Robin Hood, and that he would, rob the trains, and then he would give money to the poor people along the tracks and everything. And I wrote the song. Oh, and it's also been said that there's some of his treasure that's been left behind in some cave The only thing is, though, is there's no caves up there in that area that anybody's aware of. So if you look on the map of the United States, you'll see where Pensacola is compared to Bay Minette, which is over to the west of Pensacola, and Montgomery is north of Pensacola, and he used to ride the trains. And the song goes like this right here. You ready? It goes, here's the story about Railroad Bill. He was an outlaw hard to kill. Always on the run. He was killed by a lawman's gun. That lawman was quick on the draw. The whole town of Atmore watched old Bill fall. But they could not find that treasure that he left behind. They looked high, they looked low, they looked everywhere, I know. But one place they did not look was a treasure map in a book behind a tree in the ground under a rock in Kearney Town. Well, I took a shovel, moved some rocks, and there it was in a big steel box full of gold, wealth untold. Now I don't have to work no more. And sometimes late at night, I look down those railroad tracks and I laugh, and I can hear old Bill laughing back. Come on. And that's one of those songs that I wrote. And you just gotta have you gotta have a song
so
in your heart.
Funny.
Yeah. And like I said, I wrote.
You're cracking people up left and right.
Yeah, well,
was you a
good.
comedian all your life, or is this just like, have you always been kind of comical?
I've always been a character to an extent. Yeah, I mean, there's been times in my life I think people didn't know how to take me, but you know what? That didn't bother me a bit.
I don't
But
think so either.
yeah, I grew up in the great state of South Carolina. I moved down to Savannah, Georgia. When I was a teenager, and then my dad, he was in the military, and we moved to Germany, and I went to school. Went to high school in Germany, and then I came back stateside, and then went back to Germany and ended up getting married over there. And then that didn't work out, so I ended up coming back to the States and moving back to South Carolina, and then I ended up down in Florida. Spent 30 years in Florida. And the thing about it is everybody's got a story to tell. Everybody's got something they've gone through, something they're going through. You never know what somebody's going through, so be nice.
That's true. You never know what anybody's going through. That's a fact.
Exactly.
Bringing laughter into their life and making them smile and laughing is medicine.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Yeah, no doubt about it. And, you've got to be thankful. I'm thankful to Mark. Mark gets on my nerves. Your producer, he does. That Mark, he's aggravating, and I'll tell him to his face he's aggravating. But you got to love Mark, and I appreciate Mark for allowing me the opportunity to, put my voice on the air and, and get some of this out there to people that may need a laugh, need a smile.
Oh, absolutely. And you're great at it.
I'd hug you too, but
But I love
no bromo stuff in here,
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, I even got a willy dance. It's called a willy. It's called the willy wobble. A willy dance, willy wobble. Hey, I hadn't sung this. I wrote the words down. It goes, you stand there on two legs with your hands on your side, shake your hips back and forth like you got a little pride. Ball up your fist, raise them up to the right, pump them up 3 times, then you go to the left and do it again, then wiggle your middle and do a big grin. And that's what you call the willy wobble. Hey, I do birthday parties, man. Hey, yeah, I ought to send you that video, man. I was doing that Willie dance with these kids. Hey, we do. Hey, Willie does cow racing up in Livonia, Georgia, too, man. Hey, he goes up to Tennessee and up to North Carolina and Kentucky and goes all over the place and gets racing cows, man. He does all kind of stuff. A racing cow. He also races hogs down in Orangeburg, South Carolina. Come on.
I was just going to say that. What about the hogs?
Yeah, man. Yeah, he does all kind of stuff. Willie believes in flat Earth too. Well, and it ain't that he believes in flat Earth, but he believes that the world is a lot bigger than what it really is. See, they say that the Earth is like 24,000 miles in circumference or something. Willie don't believe that. He thinks that it's a whole lot bigger and that there's outer lands.
So islands that have not been discovered yet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
tell her about your cricket flower too.
Yeah. Like I said, Willie got all kind of endeavors, man. He does cricket flour. He sells cricket flour. He also sells cockroach milk. Now, you think that sounds nasty or sounds dirty or whatever, cockroach milk? Hey, but y'all can look it up, man. Y'all can Googleize it, cockroach milk. It is a delicacy. I ain't lying, man. Like I said, if you don't believe me, just ask me. I'll tell you. Hey, what Willie does too is he broadcasts live from a billboard. That's what Mark was talking about earlier. He gets up, he got a ham radio, CB radio, and he'll broadcast live from the billboard, man. Hey, and right now he's up there on I-26, and he'll broadcast over to down to I-10 and over to I-75 and down into I-20. Going across the whole daggum south. And Willie ain't allowed to say daggum on the radio normally, but I guess maybe y'all can make an exception with me right now because he broadcasts live across the whole daggum southeast. Man, come on. and what's hard for me right now is that Willie never comes out of character. I'm always Willie. I'm never James, and that's my real name is James. So it's kind of hard for me, doing James and trying to be serious and doing Willie too.
And we only know you as Willie.
Yeah, basically, yeah. I've come out as James a couple of times on John's show, but rarely. I stay Willie. I stay in character.
Now you said you do a half an hour of Willie.
Yeah.
On the show. Oh wow.
Yep. And that's pretty much it.
And you try to come up with new concepts every week.
Oh yeah, every week. Willie will talk about the news and crazy stuff that's going on in the world. It's just like have you ever heard of what did they call it? I'm having a brain cramp right now. We did this on the show here a few weeks ago or last week.
Yeah. Maybe it's catchy.
Yeah, it was called
like Last News Network.
Yeah, what was it? It was raw dogging, but it ain't raw. Oh, they call it hobby dogging. Yeah, that's what it is. You can look at the news and find all kind of crazy stuff that people do, and one of them is called hobby dogging, and it's actually a competition that they do over in England and Germany, where these people have got these stiff lines with a collar on the end of it, like you used to get the fair way back when, those novelty items. It was like you're pretending to walk a dog. Yeah. These people have made a contest out of it.
Fake dog thing. Yes, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and they call it hobby dogging. And it's crazy. And they've also got the horses, where people riding around on these stick horses with a fake horse head on the end of a broomstick. And
oh my God.
Yeah, hobby horsing, and that's a thing too. And these people are crazy about it. They're doing these, jumping over hurdles and going through hoops and going around cones and all kind of stuff, and they're making it an actual competition. And it's hilarious. It's funny what it is, but these people are really serious about it.
They are really serious. I can't imagine.
They're serious about it. It's a bona fide sport, man.
Kidding. People will do anything nowadays. But then again, you're selling pictures of your feet.
Yeah, well, Willie just trying to make ends meet. Hey, look at him. Life is hard. Here's the thing. And going back into Willie again, Willie trying to make ends meet. Willie ain't got nothing but a 4th grade education. And he come up with the idea one day. What he's going to do is he decided that what he'd do is go diving for fishing lures. And hey, them fishing lures, they cost a lot of money. Some of them things are $5-10 a piece for a fishing lure. And these people, they go down to the fishing landing or down to the lake or whatever, and they throw their lines out there, and then they get hung up. And Willie would dive under the water, and every fishing lure that he got for these people, he'd charge them $2 to get their fishing lures back. So, they've saved, they saved $3 to $7. But the only thing is, though, is what Willie would do is he'd tell them to cast over there where he knew them bushes was going to be under the water. He trying to make ends meet one way or another. Willie come up with the idea what he was going to do is start deporting illegals. And Aunt Mama Lou has got 23 sisters, and all 23 of them sisters is married to illegals. And Willie got it figured out where he could get paid for deporting them. And so he gathers them all up and puts them in a van and takes them down to ICE. And then he gets paid $1,000 a piece for them. He says, look at him, I got these illegals right here. And he'll make $23,000 a pop. And then ICE will haul them back down to Mexico where they come from. Then they sneak back across the border, and then Willie does it all over again. he got him a deal going on, man. And of course, he splits the money with them a little bit here and there. But for the most part, Willie's smart like a fox.
Hey, I hear they're getting wise to you down at Alligator Alcatraz.
Yeah, well, that's another thing too.
What is Alligator Alcatraz?
Huh?
What's Alligator Alcatraz?
Oh, look at him. No, hey, these people, they built a detention center down there in the middle of the Everglades. It's the dumbest thing you ever thought about in your entire life with all the hurricanes that come through there. But they built an ICE detention center down there in the Everglades, and they call it Alligator Alcatraz. And they've got all these illegals, that they put in there until they're getting ready to be deported out of the country or whatever. And they call it Alligator Alcatraz. And it's the dumbest in the world. First off, it's in the middle of a swamp. It's snakes all over the place, alligators all over the place, ridden with mosquitoes all over the place. I mean, it's a god-awful place. The air conditioners don't work half the time. They took this airport and turned it into a prison, basically, for illegals, and all the Republicans. And that's something else too. People decide they're going to take sides. Oh, I'm a Republican, or I'm a Democrat, or I'm right and I'm left, and we can't be friends. And and that's just a bunch of bull too. The fact of the matter is, it don't matter whether it's Republican or Democrat. Every last one of them's crooked, and that's all there is to it. Hey, I like Donald Trump. Don't get me wrong. Donald Trump, he's a heck of a lot better than what Kamala Harris or Joe Biden could ever be. And Joe Biden, by the way, he died probably 10, 15 years ago. That man ain't never been president. I missed the auto pin. Donald Trump got a picture of Biden in the White House.
Crack incident
with
his son. With his son.
Yeah,
that boy.
And to see, Debbie, and it's great that you bring that up. That's another good point. There's never any accountability for all these transgressions that people are perpetrating upon the world, upon the population. You hear about all this stuff, and Hunter's laptop this, and Joe Biden's in on it, and then the uncle's in on it, and then all this stuff Hillary's doing, all this stuff Obama's doing, and all this stuff everybody's doing, and there's never any accountability. Where are the arrests? Pam Bondi came in there, and she was supposed to arrest a whole bunch of people for a whole bunch of different things. I ain't seen no arrest. These people, they just get away with whatever they want to get away with. Huh?
Yeah. Well, they're getting away with it.
Yeah.
They just get away with it. I mean, now that he's not in office, now he thinks that his son can just get away with it. But they embezzled so much money, and the kid was just spending it on drugs.
Yeah. I mean, the whole thing with Burisma and his involvement with, that company in the Ukraine. And then they fired the prosecutor and Joe Biden admitted it. It's a quid pro quo. He's like, okay, well, give us the money, or you need to fire this guy, or you don't get the money. And he admitted to it, that they had to fire this guy, or they weren't going to get this $6 million that the United States was going to give them, or $6 billion or whatever it was. It's the whole thing. It's like you hear about it in the news, and oh yeah, that's a bad thing, but then guess what? Next week it's something else, and the next week it's something else, and the next week it's something else, and then years and years and years go on. And guess what? there still has been no accountability for what happened with 9/11. Is there going to be any
No.
accountability for what's going on with the whole COVID scam? That was all a scam. That's all there was to it.
I thought that was too. I completely. I never had the shots. I always thought that that was something that
Right.
was forced upon all these Americans, and actually people in the world, but they were untested drugs, and I would never put something that was not
Exactly.
pre-tested for years, not just for like a few months like they were doing. Then all those people that died. So like the medication that they were putting in humans' bodies, and then the tests were supposed to be falsified, like the testing that you take were not legit or were
Of course.
not right. They were just not right. So people were thinking that they had COVID when they didn't, and it was
Right.
sad. It was very sad.
Yeah. And there again, where's the accountability? There's countries out there. Apparently, they're supposedly they have arrest warrants out for Dr. Fauci, and he's not allowed to go in these different countries or whatever. But where's the accountability?
We're all suckers. That's what happened. They think that, and then they were forcing people. If you went to a job, you had to have that shot. What if
Yeah.
those shots 10 years from now cause people to be sick with cancer? And because they did not do the testing for years on the whole thing. I mean, it just
Right.
came out of the blue, and then they forced people, and then they said that you couldn't, and then we were all stuck at home. People wanted to
Right.
kill their partners. I mean, it was, thank God we're not sitting in that situation anymore. But the whole point was, what good did it do for all the people?
And it's like, you couldn't even walk into Walmart and buy seeds. They put saran wrap around the seeds so you couldn't buy them. And you could only buy certain things. It's all crazy. And what happened at that point in time is all the mom and pops went out of businesses. Walmart, they could stay wide open. Target, they could stay wide open, but all the mom and pops, they had to shut down.
I
You know
do
that
know
that
that a lot of businesses did lose
yeah.
their ability to even have their own. Like you said, the small businesses all lost out. Nobody was prepared for such a thing. But like, when would we ever think that would ever happen? Like in the real world, like we would never ever thought that the whole world would be getting sick all at once. And then all of a sudden now it's gone and it doesn't exist anymore, and there's
Ex-
nothing going on, and we're not,
Exactly.
like all of a sudden gone. Just
Ex-
as quick
ex-
as it came into the news, it went out.
Exactly.
And
It was
I
all a
just,
test. It's
I
all a
think
test
so.
to see what the world will buy. Donald Trump just recently, what was it, yesterday or today, got us out of the World Health Organization, which I think is an awesome thing.
And I wonder, like, what would they do if the people that did get the shots now, down the road here, end up getting sicker, or they have something like cancer from it? Because anything that's not meant to be in your body is foreign object.
Well, that's just it too. Is there's no liability against the companies that Pfizer, Moderna, all these other companies. They are immune from any lawsuits due to the vaccines.
Now, I noticed that in the news just recently that this ICE, they're everywhere. They're in my state. They're in like major cities. They're busting people left and right. But they're also pulling innocent people out of their vehicles just
Yep.
because of the way they look. And
Yep.
it's causing people to be afraid. I mean, they're
Right.
with not even like they arrested right up here in Maine. They arrested a gentleman who was a corrections officer.
Yeah, I saw that.
They yanked him right out of his vehicle, and
Yeah.
I mean, the people are videotaping them. They're getting shoved. They're getting shoved and pushed, and their phones are getting hit out of their hands. I mean, there's a lot going on with that, and I don't. What good is that going to do?
Well, you
I mean,
saw the guy that they shot today or yesterday, right, in the streets?
I actually didn't catch that video, but I heard about it.
Yeah, well, they shot that guy graveyard dead. This guy was, he was an all around stand up guy. He was like a nurse. He was a vet. He worked at the VA hospital. He was like a mountain climber, and he was out there just basically filming. And apparently, what happened is ICE had tried to jump on this lady or something. He was trying to protect the lady, and then they jumped on him. And he had a weapon on him, but he never drew his weapon. His hands were up in the air the whole time when they jumped on him. And it wasn't until they got him on the ground, and he was licensed to carry. And they got him on the ground and they disarmed him while he was on the ground, took his gun out of his holster, and then they just shot him just like he was a dog in the street, just shot him graveyard dead. And guess what? There's not going to be any accountability for that either, because
How is
the
that
cops,
even possible?
well, cops, they've got something called qualified immunity. And so that way they can get away with doing some of these things
They
that
can
they're
just
doing.
kill random people. And they even breaking into people's homes. So the Constitution isn't even holding up there either.
Exactly. And that's another issue too. See, these are topics that people really don't want to discuss because there's people that are taking sides on, one side or the other. And the problem with all of that is people succumb to a belief system. And whenever you succumb to a certain belief system, then it makes it hard to deviate from that belief system. You've believed it for so long that, something is true and that, it's like, who are the bad guys? You want to be the good guy all the time, but guess what? You might just be the bad guy and don't know it. It's like that thing, I can't remember it. It's Mark probably knows what I'm talking about, where the guy says, "Are we the baddies?" And the fact of the matter is yeah, you know what? You might think that you're on the right side, but guess what? You're not.
I think when the public is being harmed by people with guns and uniforms and protective covering, like they have bulletproof vests, they're pushing up against your grandmother, or you know what I mean, like your wife, your children. These are the people that they're going after, but they're making the wrong decisions. And I saw something where one of the sheriffs said that they were told one thing before they came, and now they're actually seeing another thing going
Yeah.
on.
But,
So there wasn't upfront with the policing, the natural policing, the ones that we, the sheriff's department and the state police and all that. They're not understanding like what's going on no more than we are, the public. So it's all like they're just going after all these people randomly at just like they pull up to a stop, even to the schools. They even arrested a mother at a school. And then they're going into the schools and arresting, taking the children out. So there's got to be some accountability for that. You can't just go around killing Americans. That should never be a thing.
You think about the jackboots and the Gestapo, back in Germany in the 1930s, and the kind of stuff that they used to do. Well, that's what we're seeing on the streets of America nowadays.
Oh, yeah.
And the fact of the matter is
these papers, Willie.
I'm sorry?
They're asking people for their papers.
Exactly.
Like we are in Germany.
Exactly. And the fact of the matter is these ICE agents, they don't have any training. These guys are not even law enforcement. Yeah, you can basically, there was a reporter, she went and she applied for ICE, and I think in less than 30 minutes they signed her up, and she had absolutely no law enforcement training whatsoever. At least our police forces, our sheriff's deputies across the country, they've got law enforcement training, and a part of that training comes with knowing what the Constitution is. The Constitution of the United States of America has 27 amendments to it. The first 10 of those amendments are our Bill of Rights. And our Bill of Rights are sacred to every single American in this country. You are free, a free citizen, a free person. You're not to be harassed. You're not to be asked for your papers. You have the right to bear arms. You look at the First Amendment, the Second, Third, Fourth, and Fifth. Those are our main ones. Well, maybe not the third so much. I think the third has to do with harboring soldiers during times of war or something or another. But in any case, that's neither here nor there. We have rights. And these ICE agents, they don't realize that we do, in fact, have rights. You know, what they're doing on the streets now, these protesters are out there and they're protesting, but guess what? That's their right to protest. I mean, that's all there is to it.
It
You know,
is,
they're
and
firing.
they're still attacking them too. And I've seen like some videos on that as well. But I also seen like in New York, there are thousands and thousands of people that want the whole situation to stop because we're all afraid of these people because they're entitled. They have like some special entitlement. I had to walk out of the room for a second. I'm sorry about that. I have to. I got 3 puppies, guys. Nothing I can do
Yay.
about it. Oh yeah, that's exactly right. But no, I mean, like what I've been witnessing on the different news channels is like this is insanity. This is really
Right.
scary. I'm afraid
Right.
that innocents are gonna get killed, or it's
Well,
gonna
they already
traumatize
are.
the children.
Yeah. They already are. You know, I mean, I see it on Facebook all the time. You know, these people, you know, support ICE, support ICE, support ICE. Hey, I get it. You know, you want to be on the side of good. You want to be on the side of law. But some of the stuff that these people are doing is just unreal. They don't believe in the Constitution. They believe that they can do exactly what it is that they want to do without any consequences. And guess what? So far, it's worked for them.
Because they're not trained.
Yeah, well,
They're
exactly.
they're not trained. But
I mean,
it's really sad.
there's even police departments across the country that will say that if you were a member of ICE, you're not hireable by our department.
Oh my
I mean,
gosh.
yeah, I mean,
Wow. There's a
there's a
lot
lot of
of
police.
them.
Yeah, there's a lot of police departments and sheriff's departments out there that have, you know, put out memorandums to ICE and said, you know what, if you break the law, we will arrest you. But a lot of these guys are out. But trust me, I sit around and I look at video after video after video of stuff that's going on in this country, world news, and whatever the case might be. You know, and some of the videos I see are where they're busting into people's houses and breaking down their doors and asking for papers. And guess what? That's not what our country is all about. I understand the need to police the community of, you know, illegals or whatever the case might be, but the way that they're going about it is just not right. And you know, and it's nothing new. It really isn't. You know, during the Clinton administration, you know, they remember Elian Gonzalez. You know, they busted into these people's houses and snatched up this kid and took him back to Cuba. I mean, they didn't have
Wow.
any warrants or anything. You know,
Yeah,
they
see, I
busted
didn't
into
hear about
people's
that one, but
house. What's
that's
that?
insanity. That's insanity. I didn't hear about that one, but it's just insanity because nobody's going to be safe in their own home, on their own property. The money that they earn all their life to pay for a house,
Right.
you're not safe. You're not safe. How is that even possible in this day and age?
Well, some things makes you wonder. That's all I can say, and that's why there's that Willie character, and that's why
There's that
Willie's out
Willie
there.
character.
You know, it's like, you know, you see it going on around you, and you know, this week it's one thing. You know, last week it was Renee Good. This week it's the guy, I can't remember his name. I think it's Alex. Alex Petty is the guy's name, if I remember correctly. The guy that was shot, you know, today. And guess what? Next week it's going to be something else, and next week it's going to be something else. And if you look at what's going on across the world, you know, there's all kind of problems down in Africa. There's all kind of problems with Israel and Gaza. There's, you know, everything going on with Russia and the Ukraine, and it's all confusion. And we need to try to stay focused and not be confused. But there's just so much that's going on in the world, and we can't do anything about it. You know, you're going to sit there in your house, and you know, it's just like I remember my mom one time we were talking about Vietnam, and you know, during that point in time, all the average person wanted to do was plant their rice paddies. That's all any of us want to do. We just want to plant our rice paddies. We want to go to work. We want to come home. We want to spend time with our families. We want to be happy. But the conflicts and confusion that are created across the world are controlled and dictated by higher powers. You've got to know that all of this is not by accident. and that wars are purposely created in order to justify the vast military complex. And that's basically what it boils down to. It's about money, it's about power,
It's
it's
about
about
money.
greed. And like I said, I like Donald Trump, don't get me wrong, but don't think that he's not being enriched by his presidency. He's made literally billions of dollars in deals across the world with his golf courses in Vietnam and his shenanigans with the whole thing with what was that country? I can't remember. Was it Qatar? Where I can't remember the country right now. I'm having a brain cramp. But these people are terrorists that he's making deals with, and he's making money hand over fist by the time it's said and done with. So in that regard, Trump's not really any better as far as being a part of the establishment. And you've got the higher powers. And do we even want to talk about Israel on this show? Because it starts getting really deep when you start talking about who Netanyahu is and where he came from, and you
Oh
start
yeah.
talking about the Bolsheviks and the Mensheviks and the revolutions and everything that
Right.
happened, prior to World War II, and why it's just it gets crazy, it gets convoluted.
You ever ask yourself, Willie, if it's all just a distraction so that we don't, so what they're really doing, we're over here thinking of this over here, but they're over on the other side doing something different. Like
Debbie,
when they're
see,
causing something.
that's one of my peeves is people will say that they're doing this to distract you from that. Like you can't pay attention to this and pay attention to that. And the fact of the
That's what
matter
I
is,
think too.
yeah, I mean, it's not only this, it's not only that, but it's that and 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 that. And then you got something else going on. It's like, what do you focus on? You know that this world that we live in is an evil world. It was designed that way. Peace is not meant for this world. Men have been fighting each other for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. That's not what the world, and I don't know if how religious you are or whatever the case might be. I'm not religious, but I do believe in God. I believe in Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior. Those two statements, that's the bottom line. That's all that matters. I believe that ultimately God is in control, but we as human beings, we need to try to be happy, to be good people in this world amid all of the chaos and the confusion that goes on.
Oh, I agree with you 100%. It's just really sad that we're in the situation right now, that we're all living it. We're seeing it on the news. But I'm so glad that your character brings a new light and a happiness to all this craziness, this human catastrophe is going on.
Yeah, hey, Willie come up with an idea, man. Hey, look at him. Willie, he decided that folks was going down to the animal shelter and they was getting dogs and adopting dogs and cats and stuff, man. Hey, why not go down to the woman's shelter and give him a woman? Hi, what he done too.
Just make sure she's not illegal. Oh my God.
Willie's crazy. I'm telling you.
Willie's crazy in a funny, good way. So how about
got,
that farm Willie's got?
What's that?
Willie's got a worm farm, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So does Willie have like acres of worms? How does Willie grow his worms?
Hey, well, nowadays Hansel's a character that's played by David Hogg, and I was going to talk about that a little bit earlier too. David Hogg, he plays Hansel. He plays the representative for the King of Nigeria. He plays Michael the Midget, and I think he also played Steve. Michael the Midget had 3 legs, and turned out that his third leg was his brother Steve. There was a conjoined twin. So anyway, Hansel. So Willie come up and he started, running around on the Crooked Emporium, and he left Hansel in charge of the farm down in Waldo. So nowadays, and Willie's got about 200 monkeys. He's got some giraffes. He's got some elephants. He got him a regular petting farm. Now, look at him. Waldo, Florida is a place down there in the middle of Florida, and it's at the intersection of Highway 24 and Highway 301. Used to be a time before I-95 came through, 301 was the main highway that went from north to south. And alongside that highway, even nowadays, you can see old hotels and stuff built up alongside the road that are dilapidated nowadays. But it tells a story from days way back when, where it was a really popular area. There was a roadside farm that me and my family, whenever we used to go from South Carolina down to Florida, we'd stop off at. And this guy, he had him some monkeys and some alligators and birds and snakes and stuff. And I also had a basketball playing chicken. This chicken, you put a quarter in the machine. You put a quarter in the machine, and this little ball, little ping pong ball, would float up on top of the air, and the chicken would peck at it and cause the ball to go into a basket, and then the chicken knew it was going to get fed. He was a basketball playing chicken. So Willie got him a basketball playing chicken too, and about 200 monkeys and all this other stuff. And he had like a little roadside farm going on there down there in Waldo, Florida. And then he started messing around up in South Carolina and started his cricket emporium where he sells cricket flour. And he's just got all kind of adventures and different things that he does. And I'm trying to figure out where was we going with this? You'd asked me a question, and I got
I'm not sure,
sidetracked
but I
in my
was
head.
just asked to ask you about how he crossed the ice wall in a rubber duck balloon.
Yeah, well, that sounds like a Mark creation there, but he did, he did. If we want to go with a rubber duck balloon, we'll use that. But yeah, he did cross the ice wall, and he went into these other lands, and he discovered this and that and other thing, and discovered that that these outer lands have been hidden from us for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. The earth, the mankind, there's evidence that there were civilizations way back, even 200 million years ago.
You think that's before the flood?
Well, yeah. I mean, it goes, the flood was, I don't know, what was the flood? Was maybe 5,000 or 6,000 years ago or something like that?
10 to 12.
10,000.
10 to 12,000 years ago is when the flood was
You
supposed.
have to think about what the Bible says. The Bible says in the beginning, there was a void. There was nothingness. Well, what happened before in the beginning? Because we know that before the in the beginning part in the Bible, that there was something, that there was some sort of a war that occurred in heaven with the angels, and then you can start. And this is a whole nother show, where you start
Yeah,
talking
pretty
about
much.
in the Anunnaki, and and how we all came from space aliens and whatever. I've got my girlfriend. She's a space alien. she she's sitting right. She's sitting right here next to me, listening to us talking. She's got she, she's got type O blood. Type O blood is very rare, and they say it comes from the Anunnaki. And it's also been attributed to the reptilian race. And, you start talking about the Dracos and the reptilians, and you start talking about, and then Sonia Morris, I think that's her last name, Morrison. She's a part of the Galactic Federation. And
Well,
you start talking
I hate to cut
about
you
the
off,
Galactic.
Willie, but I've been given the thumbs up that we have to say good night.
Oh, Lord
But
have
I love
mercy.
this. Willie, come back on. We'll have more fun.
Well, you know what? I'm always here anytime you need me or want me.
I
Will you
love that.
still
Thank
need
you so
me?
much,
Will you
Willie.
still feed me?
And everybody,
Flat Earth!
please tune into Willie's show, Censorship Sucks. Enjoy watching and learning more about Willie Lee, the worm farmer. And what else are you? Extraordinaire.
Chumderware extraordinaire.
Thank you, Willie. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in this evening. Thank you, Mark.
You're welcome.